Hello everyone, Leslie Ohnstad here. Today we're going to do the first layer of a 20 by 40. Yes, it will be the largest piece that I've done on camera with resin. I'm going to attempt a kind of an industrial swipe like I did last time, and then I'll do another layer on top. I'm going to do some custom mixing of colors because I want my background to be gold, yellow, orange, maybe some copper and pops of a little red and like a hot rhodamine pink here or there, but not in your face pink, just like a pop of color to offset the second layer that will be blues and turquoises. So Rezin Arte is a epoxy paint system that is just pure color and pure minerals and none of the turpentines or oil-based paste that many of you might be used to working with. This color is actually Autumn Flame. It's very, very dark in the camera. Oh, hang on a minute. Let me fix the lighting here. I have the light over to the side for the end of the video because the canvas is always glaring with the resin on it. And in this this segment, you need to be able to see what we're talking about. So here's the pigments. This color is the Autumn Flame. It's actually a ground copper metal. I have about 1.5 ounces of art resin mixed for 3 minutes in each one of my cups. So I'm putting a 1.5 spoons, and this is a little taster spoon. I found them at the restaurant supply. They're very flat and small. They're great for tapping just a little bit off the sides. You just leave a little bit in there so you're not using too much. I got a whole box of them for $4, like 500 of them for $4, and they're about 1/8 of a teaspoon, and the measurement is 1/8 of a teaspoon per ounce is kind of the recommended saturation of the Rezin Arte. So I've just put in my Autumn Flame, my copper color, and one of the unique characteristics of the Rezin Arte is, boy, we really are having trouble getting, I want to get this way in the camera, how quickly it dissolves. Now this is a ground, it looks brown, but that's actually a copper. It's a very, very deep, rich, antique copper. Very warm. But do you see how quickly that mixed up? We didn't have any poofing or any kind of mess that normally happens when you're working with a dry material. I'm going to mix up the rest of these colors. And when I say some custom, I'm going to actually try to lighten my ginger peach this time. I deepened it in the one in the past, but I want something even more yellow and ginger, sorry, spiced ginger. Ginger peach is the same shade in our water soluble line, my apologies. The spiced ginger. So to do that, I'm going to use some interference gold. We do have this in the pure mineral lines in the primary element section of our website, but we will be repackaging these in the larger jars that the Rezin Arte jars come in because it'll be a better value for you guys. So typically I don't worry about putting this on the bottom, but since I'm already talking about it and I measured it, there's a teaspoon of that gold. I think I'm actually going to use 2. I want it really light, almost a yellow. I'm also going to use gold in my piece, so it doesn't mean that I'm not going to get a bright yellow cast too, but I actually want something with yellow in it. And spiced ginger, while it might look like a burnt orange, it really is a burnt yellow. So let's get a little bit of resin in this cup. I use these little popsicle sticks, wooden stir sticks, coffee stirrers. Now, the regular interference mica is going to take a little bit longer. We're going to see if I got enough of the the spiced ginger in there. I think I want it a little bit deeper. I did put 2 spoons in there. I was thinking 1 part, 2 part, and then I only used a half on that first mix. It's like a sunflower golden yellow, which is pretty cool. That's what I was kind of looking for. So I've kind of made a light sunflower yellow. I just said that. And I'll also make some regular spiced ginger by putting that in this cup. So we got the spiced ginger in. Dragon Gold, which is another ground metal color. So the Autumn Flame is not only the other new one you guys haven't seen me play with, while I know you haven't seen me mix up this custom yellow out of the spiced ginger. Fantasy Fuchsia, I did a little tile test, but this is the final batch. In the tile test, the color was still a little bit too grapey for me. So this is more of like a hot, like our color Passion, a hot rhodamine, red violet with a blue pearl, but no actual blue color in there to kind of turn it grape. I just want it kind of a hot, in your face, electric jasmine ginger flower pink. There, I like that. That's, you guys can see this color. This is Fantasy Fuchsia, and it is a hot red violet fuchsia, but the mica in it's blue, so you'll get some really nice shifting using this color. Unfortunately, I'm only just using this for accent. I think I mixed up too much because I was just going to have a little streak of it in my piece. The piece is basically going to be more warms, golds, and oranges and yellows. I'm also going to do another custom mix. We're custom mixing everywhere today. I have this stiletto red. Again, I have another lab sample here. I don't have the jar. It's still working with the Rezin Arte. If you're winning the product, all these colors are the Rezin Arte paints. So the Queens Stiletto is an in-your-face stiletto red. So I want an orange. Because my Fantasy Fuchsia is going to kind of take the actual red portion. So I'm going to put some of the Queens Stiletto in there, okay? And I'm going to take some of the spiced ginger. Use that color a lot to mix other colors. Put some of the spiced ginger in there, and I want the spiced ginger to dominate and just the Queen Stiletto to make it more of an orange red. I will write all this in the description. I'm not expecting you guys to remember everything, but if you write it down and practice it. Okay, so here, let's go right down the line. This is the, and I'll get a close-up on all of them. This is the Dragon Gold, Antique Gold. We are coming out with a yellow gold. Next color is the straight ginger, spiced ginger. I keep wanting to call that ginger peach. It's really a burnt yellow, goes to an orange. So you can add it to make red into a brighter orange. You can add, as I did earlier, some interference violet to make more of a yellow gold. So that's a spiced ginger. This is my combination, speaking of that, with the Queen Stiletto and the spiced ginger. See how I got like this spicy orange? I don't know if you can see that color. Let me get this up in the... Looks like a deep, spicy, not even, it's darker than a pumpkin. Sorry, my camera is not moving up very well. I don't know if you can see that color in the cup. That's that 50-50. Actually, a little bit more spiced ginger and just some of that Queens Stiletto, and it's a really nice, juicy orange. Just so we can get another close-up, this is that Autumn Flame. Not sure how much I'm going to use of this copper. It's a big piece that we're doing. This is the Fantasy Fuchsia, so you can get the close-up shot of this. So I need a little bit of the Stone Coat Black, just a dab. Very sparing with this stuff, you don't need much. Okay, well, I have some colors mixed up. I may have to stop and mix something else. I'm going to get my board down, get the camera reset. I'll be right back. Hey everyone, I'm back. So I have a 20 by 40 canvas, already primed with 2 coats of house paint. 1 coat on the back of house paint because it kind of stiffens up the canvas, resin and canvas. The challenge for me for composition. So I have my little popsicle sticks to remind me of areas that I want to start, like I did in that last one that was green. I'm actually going to go in the furthest area where I have to reach over while I've got no resin here in front of me to get wet. I plan on having to mix 2 batches of resin. Right now I've mixed about 6.5 ounces and I think to 7, and I think this is going to take anywhere from 13 to 14 ounces to complete. So I kind of want to lubricate just my edges slightly. I'm not going to do the whole back with clear, but I'm doing this one section here first. Hopefully you guys can see that on camera. And I just kind of want to lubricate the edges. I know I'm going to float a little bit of black and some color over. I can float the color back. I always seem to remember to do this after I've got the gun on. This time I'm just doing a little insurance here. So this Autumn Flame is kind of a darker color. I don't want it too close to here where I'm going to, because I'm going to do a second layer where I'm blowing colors out this way. So I'm going to put this copper color called Autumn Flame, kind of dribble it down here. And I'm going to take my lightest yellowy color. This was that Interference Gold mixed with the spiced ginger. Makes a really beautiful sunflower yellow. Hopefully you guys can see that. I know this is a big canvas, so I'm all the way out, but I really like that color there. I'm then going to go darker. I'm going to do that custom color we mixed with the Queens Stiletto red and the spiced ginger. So here's the difference. Spiced ginger mixed with Interference Gold. And look at this, spiced ginger mixed with Queens Stiletto. So I know I need the black. The Stone Coat needs to have color go over it. I'm going to try to just very sparingly use a bit here. Oop, that's a lot. I didn't mean to use that much there. That's going to be a little bit strong. Okay. Now the straight gold, dragon gold, this is actually going to be an important, normally your gold is like your accent, but the gold to me is going to be an important part of this. With that other color swiped over, I'm going to dribble just, you know, I've got a lot of black in there, a little bit of black here, a little bit of black here. So the ginger peach, now this is actually the straight ginger peach, so just to repeat, I'm sorry, spice ginger. This is spice ginger with the interference gold. This is spice ginger mixed with the Queens Stiletto. This is straight spice ginger. See the difference in the color? You can get lots of combinations out of these if you mix them. Okay, I got a lot of color on there. I'm not going to use my fuchsia just yet. I want to warm this up and see how this swipes. Pardon the noise, everybody. So I'm pouring clear in all the openings. No wonder my heat's not on. Hey, now it's hot. That was just blowing air. Now everything's popping. You guys can make the same mistake too. Be careful, make sure your heat is on. It's amazing when it won't move. That's a lot of orange. That's a lot of orange. But what was I expecting? I've got spiced ginger. I've got my own kind of darker version of orange here. I'm getting some real nice cells in that top corner right there. I'm just stretching out a little bit. They look kind of interesting right here. Make sure I'm back on camera with you guys. They're real interesting right here. I need to pull this off though. I can't have that stick be in there. It's my little pet peeve. Not sure how I feel about this clear area right here. I know there's going to be color right up against it. Get my other popsicle stick out of here. It's actually a coffee stir. Yeah. Now that last one I did, I was working on canvas that already had color on it, so you could, it's more slick. Where here, I'm working on canvas that just has some latex paint on it. So I think this is where I'm crazy. Wow, that dragon gold next to that yellow looks like real gold embedded in there. I'm just going to slide, I'm already getting some cells here in that pink. I think I'm just going to try to swipe that color in. Some of that ginger peach. Again, I'm not trying to mess with these, so I got cells forming now. I'm not going to mess with them. I'm getting some really cool patterns in here. I just want enough color all the way down to the end of my area. No, I should warm it. Sorry guys, give me a second. I'm getting excited probably like you would, but I got to remember the rules. Warm every little thing you put down. I'm kind of actually liking what's happening with the clear here. Again, I know something's going to butt right up against it and it'll be fine. I got my map here. Kind of marked it. This is a marking, and then this will give me, I just have a tiny little line here that'll remind me, and then I can get all my sticks off. I really like those colors. Oh, that is beautiful. Before I progress, I'll pull this in and try to give you a close-up. I have to carefully pick this thing up and then try to put it down. Not an easy thing to do, and the camera is not responding that well, but I'll do my very best to give you guys a close-up. Can you see all that texture? See all that beautiful texture where that gold is? That's that dragon gold. Mixing with the interference and the spiced ginger. Again, not sure how much this is showing up. I think I'm going to do this bottom section here with what I have left, so this has a chance to kind of set up. So I don't have a lot of clear left, but I'm going to try to do sort of the same thing down here. Put a little bit of clear right around these edges here. Actually, no, I'm going to start on this edge because this is where my line is. And I've got that copper, that autumn flame color right here. Wow, I'm already out of that spiced ginger with the running really quickly out of this color, that real light yellow color I made. Yeah, I'm gonna have to make some more paint definitely for this, to do this whole piece, but that's okay. I'd rather do it in sections and I'll have it all dry up on me. So there's that spiced ginger mix with the interference. Here's our Queens Stiletto mixed with that spiced ginger. Oh, it's going a little haywire here. I didn't realize how much paint I'd used before I started pouring out that clear. And then here is, of course, the dragon gold. Actually, no, that wasn't the dragon gold. This is the dragon gold. I think that was the rest of this autumn flame copper. This part's going to be really brown. There's the dragon gold. And this time I am going to actually put some of the fantasy fuchsia in it. And some black, a little bit around the edges. But I'm also going to put a little black kind of right in the middle of this to swipe with. Yeah, I know it's dangerous. can yell at me now. Gosh, I'm barely even touching it. It's so molten. All I want to do is just gently push it. Wow. Usually I can just push it. That's crazy how liquid that got. I didn't mean to lift up all that paint. Didn't want to lift up all that paint. All this clear on the edge. And then I kind of want to swipe this back, that black over here. Sorry guys, I'm quiet. I'm just kind of tilting this. I'm praying my first section's set up enough to where this tilt's really not affecting it that much. It looks like it is a little bit here, so I'm going to have to stop. See if my heat gun can finish that without hurting it. And see what colors I have left that I can fill in this spot. Well, I have some more stone coat. I don't know how much I'm going to use here. And this light, that's the one thing about the lamps, but then that makes it so dark it's hard for you to see what happened here. I choose more light than not. So I'm going to let this set up just a little bit. I'm going to mix them some color. I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm back. And what you're actually looking at, I had to let this dry overnight. So I can actually pick this piece up. Let's see, where am I going to go first? To this section here. You can see some of the color changing in the area. That fancy fuchsia is really hot, much hotter than I thought it would be. Here's the other end. Not sure how much this is going to get into the camera without the light. I mean, this is a rare opportunity to actually pick it up halfway through dry. You can see the fantasy fuchsia. One angle it looks very hot, other angle you see that interference blue in there and how it's casting the light. However, for what I was going for, since this is a layer 1, it is a little bit oranger than I thought.